Well, I brought you the signed first edition of Leaving Las Vegas by John O'Brien. He signed and dated it right on the title page there.
Okay, guess what I'm never doing? Leaving Las Vegas.
I'm a rare book collector, and I'm a huge fan of the movie and a huge fan of the book. I've had this book for a while. I'm starting a small business, and I figured what better place to sell this to than the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop. Considering this book's subject matter, its title, the movie connection, and where we are right now, I think I have a pretty good shot at selling this book.
This is by far one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. You know, most people have seen the movie, they haven't read the book.
Yep.
It's a very, very dark story, but it's a very, very good story. You're watching a guy who realized he had messed up so much. He deals with the whole seedy side of Vegas, and his wife and his kid had left him. And his solution is basically to go to Las Vegas and drink himself to death. What do you know about John O'Brien?
Sure. Well, you know, interestingly, this was the only book that was published during his lifetime. He had a hard time finding a publisher, and Watermark Press out of Wichita, Kansas, they're a small publishing house. They took a gamble on this one. The editor read it, he loved it, thought this would be a great hit.
It's really cool that John O'Brien signed it, but no one really knows who John O'Brien is. I wonder where the story came from, you know what I mean?
Personal experience, I think. You know, some say that this book was his suicide note. It's how he wanted to go out. 2 weeks after he found out that this was going to be made into a film, he committed suicide.
And he was also an alcoholic, and
He was.
had a bunch of demons. How much are you looking to get?
You know, I've looked around. You know, I've seen comparable copies out there online for about $1,000 to $2,000. I think that this is the perfect spot to sell this book. So I'm gonna ask $1,000.
You know, I kind of gave away my cards in the beginning, telling you what a fan I am of it. And normally I would call somebody to take a look at this, but you're looking about 300 bucks.
300 bucks. I can't go that low. You know, if there's one place in the country where this book is gonna sell, it's at your pawn shop.
All right, well, in the spirit of this book, what was he trying to sell the Rolex Daytona for in the pawn shop?
I wanna say it was 500 bucks.
That's what I'll give you.
500 bucks?
500 bucks.
You got a deal.
Deal? All right, cool.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Let's come over here and do some paperwork.
All right, thanks. You know, I feel great about this deal. It's a little lower than I was hoping for, but I'm leaving Las Vegas with $500.
I see you bought a book, Leaving Las Vegas.
Now that I'm thinking more clearly, I asked her to come by and see if I overpaid.
So, obvious question. Why didn't you call me?
I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. I really like the book. One of the few books I've read. Yeah, I got a little too excited over it, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I mean, it can't be that bad, right?
I don't know. What'd you pay for it?
I paid 500 bucks.
Let's take a look. I'm gonna take it out of the Mylar. Let's take a look at the actual jacket. Because, like, one bad nick in this, and your money is out the window. So you had to get this.
I just had to have it.
And this was the copy you wanted, even though you didn't look at the dust jacket. Sorry, I can't help myself.
You're beating me to death.
It's not perfect, the jacket, but it's not bad. With a book like this that's so recent, that's when people get crazy about condition because there are more copies and it's more recent, so everyone says, why bother unless it's pristine?
What are we looking at? What's it worth, actually?
I mean, I would see a copy like this selling retail for between $600 and $750, probably. It would be hard to make a lot of money on it, but you wouldn't be losing money.
I'm actually shocked at myself right now. I completely thought I was losing money on this thing and had instant buyer's remorse the second I bought it.
I think this, you know what this shows me is like you're a collector and you actually like books.
I do actually like books. Don't tell anybody that I actually like books.
That's just a secret between us.
The Mr. Brown and I got along famously.
Why he tittled through a pass, I caught the ball myself.
It's got a name engraved on it.
How did you end up with this?
Sounds so fun.